Podcasting from Woodstock, Georgia, welcome to Soul Solutions, a show where we overcome our fears and our limiting beliefs. I'm your host, author, and certified life coach, Terry Kozlowski. Hello, warriors. Is your mindset preventing you from moving forward? Are you able to change your perspective from one of negativity to one of optimism? I have an exercise that will help you tune into your soul's voice and change the way you see things so that your thoughts become more positive. The show notes contain the link to this free tool. Don't continue to let the egoic voice negatively affect your life. Now let's begin this week's episode. Episode 182. It's easy to remove the armor and live authentically. Armor is what you wear to protect yourself, the shield that you have learned to put on when you were younger so that the words of others didn't hurt as much. It's understandable why most of you wear armor, but do you realize that it keeps you from living an authentic life? Both at business and at home, you are expected to lead with courage and boldness. It's time for you to remove the armor. However, feeling as though you need the armor is normal. Since your armor has been a part of who you are for such a long time, you frequently do not even realize that you're wearing it. You and those around you cannot easily see your energetic armor. Because you are human, you have armor. To save yourself from feeling abandoned and hurt, you have partially frozen your energy. Your vitality has been immobilized by your preconceived notions about the nature of the world and your role in it. Your vibrancy has been trapped by recollections of what should and could occur when you venture outside your comfort zone. Although your armor keeps you safe, it can also impede your development, particularly in unpredictable and changing times. Whatever your age, the armor or mask that you wear are as personalized and unique as each of your susceptibility, uneasiness, or hurt that you're trying to diminish. It's time to get some support and assistance in taking off your armor. Types of There are different types of armor or masks depending on how you react to uncomfortable situations. These defense mechanisms you put into place to help you deal with your fears. Let's take a look at each of them. Number 1, silence. The first piece of armor is silence. If I don't talk, no one can make fun of what I say. If I don't speak, I won't accidentally say the wrong thing and be embarrassed. And if I don't say anything at all, no one will tell me I'm wrong. If I refuse to converse with you, then I'm withholding my love and you will be hurt. You recognize these responses, don't you? But the reality is, you know they don't help the situation. They don't even make us feel better. Withholding honest communication only makes the situation worse, not better. How you feel is important to share. Your thoughts are significant, even if you aren't sure how to express them clearly. Your sharing your opinion is neither right nor wrong, but it may be helpful to someone else. By choosing to be silent, you are keeping others away from you so that authentic connections cannot be formed. Number 2, perfectionism is armor. The second defense mechanism is perfection. Now, this one doesn't seem as obvious, but it too keeps us from connecting with others as you aren't being authentic. It does this by putting up expectation barriers that make it difficult for others to get close to us. People don't like disappointment, so they may choose to avoid those who expect more than they think that they can give. Also, perfectionism is a reflection inward. It's the armor that keeps you from reaching out to others because you don't want to appear weak by asking for help. Perfectionists tend to be complainers because they point out all the things that are not ideal, even if no one else notices. Perfectionism is one of the many forms of fear. Number 3, numbing. The third mechanism that you use as part of your armor is numbing. An example of this is relieving your stress from work with a glass of wine every day, even when you didn't work on the weekend. It's your excuse for eating the whole tub of ice cream. You can numb with food, tobacco, alcohol, or binge watching The Walking Dead. This is a mask of avoidance. By not directly dealing with the issue, you stay stuck. You even use this mechanism when you are with other people, especially smoking and drinking alcohol. These two devices are socially acceptable in a group setting, so you don't realize that you are numbing your authenticity from others. But if you feel that drinking or smoking makes you cooler or relaxes you so you feel better in a group setting. Removing the armor and being vulnerable. Author and researcher on vulnerability, Brene Brown, writes that the only way humans can truly connect is to embrace it. What exactly does that mean? It means that you need to recognize that your weaknesses are a part of your authentic self. You can't be authentic with others unless you are honest and share all of who you are, and that includes your vulnerabilities. Although the vulnerability has conventionally been seen as a weakness, the idea of being exposed, defects, inadequacies, mistakes, and all, is for most people totally petrifying. But as Brene Brown has shown through her research, that being vulnerable isn't a liability, it's an asset. Being open is the ability to allow people to see that you're not perfect, you make mistakes, and you don't have all the answers. It's allowing people to see that you're human and that you're just like them. Ways to remove the armor. Here are several ways you can begin to remove the armor and mask that you wear. Here are the ones that I found especially helpful. Number 1, set boundaries. Personal boundaries are guidelines for how you allow people to treat you and what you find as acceptable behavior. By putting boundaries in place, you can begin to take off the armor because you know what conduct you're willing to tolerate from others. You empower yourself to take appropriate action when someone violates the boundaries you have put into place. Personal limitations are vital for you to flourish and be strong in your relationships. Having them in place allows you to communicate your needs and wants plainly and concisely without fear of consequences. It's a way for you to practice authentic self-respect. Number 2, practice self-care. Self-care is the antidote to armor of perfectionism. It's going from worrying about what others think or say to know that you are enough just as you are. Self-care is taking care of yourself, your mental, emotional, and physical health. Basic self-care is vital to improving mood and reducing stress. Simple acts of kindness for yourself, like a bubble bath, are an act of self-compassion. Recognizing the struggles of others shows that you need help once in a while. Be mindful and acknowledge that hurt feelings, don't let them overtake you. Feel them, move past them, and get to the other side where the answers come. Accepting that you and others are enough just as you are can help break the grip of perfectionism to be more authentic. Number 3, gratitude overcomes numbing. One of the side effects of numbing the pain is that you also numb the joy. No lows, but also no highs with this piece of armor. This seems counterintuitive, but if you feel joy, then it may be taken away. So you numb all your feelings, both good and bad. In her TED Talk about vulnerability, Brene Brown shared that the happiest people were ones that practice gratitude. Thankfulness recognizes that you are living with enough, permitting us to accept the simple joys that surround us. The easiest way to practice appreciation is to start a gratitude journal. All you have to do is make a short list, maybe 5 items each day that you are thankful for. Big things like not being in a car accident to simple things like fresh squeezed orange juice you made for breakfast. When you see that your life is full of joy that depends on no one, you can release the urge to numb your feelings and be authentic. Human connections. Making human connections is vital for your health. The human brain is wired to make associations with people. It needs those links to maintain overall health. Reaching out to others helps people come out of depression. The connections to others keeps your brain healthy. But to make real, authentic bonds, you need to remove the mask and armor you have been wearing. Vulnerability is courageously showing your true self, which can feel uncomfortable. But you can push past the discomfort. As an alternative to the armor, let's clothe ourselves with the garments that allow us to connect, those made of empathy, compassion, humbleness, kindness, patience, and forgiveness that are topped with love. By doing so, you open the door to more imagination, invention, and more authentic connections with others, which is more than worth the effort. Moving forward without armor. It may be really painful to be vulnerable, have difficult conversations, and take off your armor. Wanting to put off doing the work till a better time is common. Nevertheless, you have little control over what life circumstances come at you. Yet life becomes easier as you begin to take off the armor. You feel better. You are able to take pleasure in your time in a way that means something to you. Furthermore, you become aware that you might take off another layer of armor by seeking guidance in response to the inevitable reactions you encounter. As you pause and become more mindful of your life, you become aware of the armor you wear, and you can begin to remove it one piece at a time. Do you need support in recognizing the disguises of the ego? Do you want a strategy to help you take off your armor and make authentic connections? If so, please contact me at terrykozlowski.com and we can put together an action plan for you to be authentically you by being more transparent.
Thanks for listening to Soul Solutions with Terry Kozlowski. If you'd like the show and want to learn more, check out terrykozlowski.com where you can find the links to everything we talked about in this episode. Please subscribe to the show so you'll never miss an episode as we overcome our fears and our limiting beliefs.